Do you have, so a question I get asked a lot, in relation to that quick and dirty formula on knowing if you should potentially buy it is, how do you know, for someone who's new, how do you know how much the repairs are just quick and dirty without having to get bids yet? Do you have like a square foot formula that you kind of go, yeah, it's 1,000 square foot house, it's going to cost me $20, $30, $40 per square foot? Do you have something that you...
That is a great question, and I have, but it's changed, so I'd be hesitant to give you an exact number. But here's a rough deal. In Salt Lake and the surrounding areas, most houses will say are around 1,800 square feet to 2,000 square feet. If you've got to do a full-blown rehab on it, you're going to spend anywhere from $40,000 to $60,000. And what that's going to depend on is, do I got to do the roof? Mm-hmm. And so that price per square foot, you got to be a little careful with the same, just because if you're not doing the roof and you're not having to replace the furnace and put in an AC and doing plumbing and electrical, man, that price per square foot is going to be so much less.
Right.
And so I think 20 is kind of a number some people run off of. But again, if you're doing a full-blown rehab, I would say $40,000 to $60,000 on a 1,800 to 2,000 square foot house. Mm-hmm. And some people might think that's way too high or not. But honestly, then it comes down to which contractor you're using. I get better deals.
Of course, yes.
I have my own guy who's worked for us for 15 years, and we got multiple crews.
Yep.
So my price is probably going to be a little bit less, although sometimes it's more just because we do it right. We're not the guys who usually go in and put lipstick on a pig. We usually go in and make it super nice. It's a new home.
Exactly.
Now there are instances where the best option is you go in, you clean it, and you maybe put a fresh coat of paint because it's in great shape, it's a great house, and you're going to make more money that way.
Right.
And so yeah, that's a tricky question. It's hard. You could get numbers, but you got to be careful because that will depend on who you're using, number one.
Sure.
If you're doing some of the work yourself, which I don't recommend unless you know what you're doing.
Sure.
And just so you know, I grew up in Europe. My background is at the age of 3, my father did the best thing that could have ever happened in my life and took a job with the government going overseas to teach music, actually, to military brats overseas. So I lived in Spain and Turkey for about 16, 17 years.
Oh, wow.
I loved the experience. We'd come back and forth. But the point of this is when I came back, I was dating a girl, and I had to finish a room in the basement of my cousin's house. He said, if I finish it, I can stay there for free. So we're going, and her dad was handy. I know, when you rent overseas, they have guys who take care of your stuff, so you don't have to learn anything. I mean, they do everything for you. And so I come in, we go in, and he's like, all right, I need you to go to the store and get me some drywall. I turned at him, I said, what's drywall? I had no idea what drywall was.
It's right? Not wet wall.
Yes. And this is coming from a guy who's flipped hundreds of homes.
Yeah.
So you don't have to know all the tiny details. You just got to know the right people. The guy I partnered with and do a lot of business with was a contractor. So don't be afraid of that, I guess is what I'm saying.
Sure.
But again, it comes to who you use, how far you're going with it, what your strategy is there. So that's one of the hardest things to determine.
Perfect.
Is what you're going to put into it. So make sure you have a mentor, you get enough bids.
Yeah. Again,
don't be afraid to take action.
Yeah.
But if you do enough homework, you shouldn't be too far off from where it is. And always, rule of thumb, have a cushion on your repairs. I mentioned this earlier. We've done hundreds, and I can count on one hand how many times I've come in under budget or on budget.
Right.
It just does not happen very often.
So
if you think you're going to spend 40, run off of 45 or 50.
Right.
If someone's telling you 40, run off of 45 or 50.
Right.
And if anything, you'll be pleasantly surprised. If that's going to break the deal, it's probably a little tight to begin with.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what you're doing as much, then pull back anyways.
Yes.
And go find a deal. Don't give up. I know guys, it's taken a month to get their first deal, and then it just snowballs from there.
Exactly.
I know guys who get their first deal their first week. That's almost bad because they get a little spoiled and think it's easy.
Yes.
But just run with it. Again, take that massive action.
Awesome. Great. Love it. All right, we are going to get ready for a commercial break, but you're not going to want to leave because when we come back, Josh is going to share a nightmare story, and I'm excited to hear this nightmare story. It sounds like a nightmare. So stay tuned. Mohammed, if you could take us to commercial, that'd be great. With smartphones and technology making life a little easier, the Snap Leash has also been designed to make life a little easier for you and your pup. Whether you're out on a stroll in the park, or possibly a walk through the city, or maybe even a hike up in the mountains, the Snap Leash is the perfect leash for you. The Snap Leash can easily and conveniently convert into 7 leashes in one, making the Snap Leash the most convenient leash in the world. What other leash do you know that is 7 leashes in one? With Snap Leash having appearances on the Today Show in New York City, TV 47 in Dallas, Texas, and ABC 4 on Midday, Utah, you are definitely going to want to take a peek at what Snap Leash can do for you and your best friend. Make life a little easier for you and your pup, and visit www.snapleash.com today.